Number 15 goes to my Maxilla mask by Rubber Gorilla. I got this mask secondhand from, again, my friend on Facebook, Matt. He gave this to me, I think, sometime during the summer, and it was probably one of my very first Rubber Gorilla masks that I've gotten, where I was just starstruck. Like, I could not believe this mask was finally in my collection. Now, one thing I haven't explained to you guys, I've been wanting a Rubber Gorilla mask for years. Probably ever since 2014, or maybe like late 2013. And yeah, I just never able to get one because they're just super. Not only are the masks on the higher end side, they're more higher quality, but the shipping, it's a lot, and they don't really deliver to my local post office. So it's one of the reasons why I never buy from Rubber Gorilla. But actually having one here in person, it's unreal. It's just unreal. And just resembling a Skull character makes it even more better. So I'm super happy that this mask made an appearance in 2017, and it's just overall a very badass mask. Number 14 on this list goes to my Lord of the Patch mask by Def Studios. This is one of those Def Studios masks that I've just been searching for, not my entire life, but ever since I've gotten into Def Studios. This is one of those masks that I've been wanting for quite a while now, and I'm just super glad I was able to find it on eBay. And it's just a really awesome pumpkin mask, and I'm just super glad it's part of my 2017 Def Studios collection. But just a really nice mask. Super happy it's part of the collection. Number 13 on this list goes to this Reaper mask that was made by Grave Productions over at Instagram. I absolutely love this mask. It's one of my most favorite skull masks now. Now it's more of my recently favorite skull mask of all time. It's funny because every time I get a new skull mask, it ends up being my new favorite. So I don't know, maybe eventually I'll find another one that will replace it. But for the time being, this is just my most favorite skull mask. It captures the way a Reaper should look like, and he just really did a beautiful job on this. He kind of gave this. Whenever I see this mask, I don't really think of a Reaper, but I also think of cult members that are part of some kind of cult, and I think that it's just really cool, and it gives it an eerie vibe too, if you really think about it. It makes the mask even more creepier. Like maybe there's like some cult members that worship death or something, and if they were part of any cult, they would look like this. And I just love this mask so much, and it's just very detailed, and there's just a lot to appreciate. Okay, now heading into the more, I guess you could say, the grail side of my collection. Heading at number 12, we got the Mangler mask made by Def Studios. Okay, now this is a Def Studios mask that I've been searching for like a long time. This is actually a mask I've been trying to look for more than the Lord of the Patch mask. Just knowing that this mask is vintage and it's just rare, it just made me want it even more. And getting this mask, I think it was, let's just say 2017, I made a lot of good deals. I was able to find a lot of cheap, rare masks, and I think this guy was like somewhere around $35, $40, which isn't bad at all. And having this guy in my Def Studios collection is unreal. It's unreal. Like, this guy was a mask where I would see, and I think, wow, I'm not gonna be able to get that mask. It's just, it's pretty rare. But finally having it here in person, it's unreal. It's just unreal. And this is just a Def Studios mask I can see myself never, ever, 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 ever getting rid of. Because I think why I love this mask so much, not just the ferocious expression, but also because the mask, it actually reminds me of Pumpkinhead, and I just really enjoy the Pumpkinhead movies. So it really reminds me of him. With that bulbous head. There's just something so unearthly about this creature. Something so sinister. And like Jeff Duffy just really, really did an awesome job on this mask, and it just had to make a spot on this list. Number 11 on this list goes to my Paul Gray Volume 3 mask. I don't have too much information on this guy. I got this on AJ's Facebook page. A guy was willing to part with this Paul Gray mask, and I think out of all the Slipknot members, Paul Gray was one of my most favorite members. I just loved the way his mask looked. It had this eerie, mysterious vibe to it. And this is actually the very first Slipknot mask I've ever gotten. I had another Slipknot Corey Volume 3 mask, but it was a cheap, I think Ruby's mask, and it just didn't do the job. But this mask, I'm just super glad I have an awesome Slipknot mask that represents Paul Gray in the best way. And down the line, I will eventually get into Slipknot mask collecting, but I think this was the best way to start that off. And I'm just a huge fan of the Subliminal Verses Volume 3. Volume 3 Subliminal Verses, my bad. Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of that album. And then when I saw that he was selling this mask, I just wanted to see what it was like. And it was just a really, really cool experience to own my very first high quality Slipknot mask. So he was definitely making a spot on this list. Number 10 on this list goes to my Mad Devil mask by Mad Mask Man. This was actually the last mask that I got from Ryan over at Mad Mask Man. It was the last one from 2017, and it's a really awesome mask. This one's really complex. He has a lot of wiring inside his mouth. He's got one broken horn. He's got one black horn right there. Yeah, I just really love the way he did this mask. And it's probably the most elaborate looking Mad Mask Man mask that I got, my bad. But yeah, it's a really awesome mask, and I just had to include it on this list. Number 9 on this list goes to my Holy Hell mask. That was made by DSS Masks, also known as Dark Side Studios. This mask was made by Paul Daniels, and I love this mask a lot. It is my most favorite DSS mask so far. The Graveyard Devil, it's nice, but it's just it doesn't compare to this one. Like, to me, this is probably Paul's best demon mask that I've ever seen. And this mask, it's a lot of mask. I mean, you guys can tell, obviously. It has a really awesome bed size, so it can make your costume way more believable. But one downside that I could point out about this mask that just kills it from being the most perfect mask ever, it's just that it's just hard to see out of. Other than that, it's just an awesome skull demon mask, and I'm super, super happy it's part of my collection. And I just want to thank Paul Daniels for a really awesome 2017, including this guy. It's just a really iconic mask. I don't think it's iconic. Like, I don't think other people will find it iconic, but in my eyes, it's just really iconic, and it's just a mask that I'll never forget.